Hey, what's up, guys? Amar here. I had a Trends member from Trends.co. Highly recommend that if you guys have never heard of that. I had a Trends member yesterday who asked me if I see opportunities similar to ZenMaid in other industries. And so the video that you're about to watch is about the pest control industry. I just jumped on Capterra, Google, and did a very quick competitive analysis. Didn't really look at any of the products, to be honest. I'm more looking from like the distribution and the marketing angle of if you were to build this product, would it work? So I encourage you to check it out. Follow me on Twitter. It's just Amar. If you are interested in seeing some more of my thoughts about this, and if you guys have any questions, go ahead and drop a comment below, or again, just reach out to me directly on Twitter. That's usually the best place to go. And then before we jump into the video, it's about to start. My apologies for the sound. I have no idea what happened when I recorded this video for one of the guys in the group yesterday. When I listened to it after, you can understand me, but it's quite difficult. I did think that this was very, very valuable, though, so I'm sharing it without too much editing. So I hope you guys enjoy, and yeah, let me know if you go out and start like $1 million company like ZenMaid off of this video.
Hey, what's up, guys? I don't know if I'm going to actually end up publishing this video. We'll see, but I thought that I would record a quick video for Jacob from the Trends group on Facebook. Jacob reached out to me with a quick message just about ZenMaid and sort of what we're doing here, and he wanted to know if I see that opportunity in other industries. And my response to that was actually like, yeah, pretty much every other like local service industry, there's room to be like the ZenMaid of that industry. And if we're being completely honest, there's room within the maid service industry, right? Like you could come in today and create a ZenMaid competitor, and like you can totally turn that into like a working company and stuff, right? It'll probably take you about as long as it took us, which is quite a long time, right? Like most people won't stick with it, but these opportunities are everywhere. So Jacob came back and said, okay, pest control. So I thought that I would just do some quick competitive research on what's out there in the pest control market. This is really to just show that, like, obviously, like, there are opportunities in, like, the different markets. But what I actually wanted to start with first, before I show you just the really quick research that I'm going to go through, like, and do here, is that the way that we actually succeeded with ZenMaid is we decided that we were going to work with maid services, period. And we knew that we were going to solve their problems using software, but we weren't married to what software we were going to build to actually help maid services, right? So for example, for ZenMaid, we have ZenMaid, which is a scheduling software, and we now have, I was looking at like our PPC or whatever and who our competitors are for retargeting and stuff like that. And we probably have like 30 competitors, right? So there's a lot of competition out there. It's not a winner take all market. It's easy to make a couple $1,000s a month, from finding, one of these niches and finding a couple of folks that want to just like to pay you, right? But even within the maid service industry, very, very recently, like literally in the past like 8 or 12 months, there's a new software that's popped up that's called Pipe Hire. And Pipe Hire helps cleaning businesses with the actual hiring process because they have to constantly be hiring. And that's not something that had actually occurred to me, but they're actually managing to make that work, and they've built a little SaaS that helps people to manage that process. And I think they're up to maybe 50 customers now, and they're beginning to get like that flywheel rolling. So I just wanted to throw that out there of like, in a lot of cases, it's really just deciding that you're going to do it and then just sticking with it until it works. And that's definitely how it worked for ZenMaid. So let me just show you like pest control here. So when we look up like pest control just on Google, you can see that you've got Pest Roots, you've got Service Pro and WorkWave. WorkWave has a hilarious typo in their ad that they're spending a bunch of money to send traffic to. These guys, WorkWave, were actually like our primary competitor back in 2013 when we first started the company. That we kept hearing that everyone was using the old version of their software, Service CEO, and everyone hated it with a passion. I'm sure they've got a big successful business, but not in our industry. In our industry, everyone can't wait to get away from them. Then you can see here, so Pest Groups, Pest Pack. So you can see that like most of the ones that you see here are actually general. And so if they're general, then that probably means that there's room to build a much better solution in there. So there's a couple of things that you're actually looking for. So first thing, there are clearly other software companies that are out there already solving this problem. Now, that is a very good thing. A lot of people think that that is not a good thing. That is a very good thing. If no one is solving the problem that you're trying to solve, there's a good chance that it's not worth solving, because it's not likely that whatever you're thinking of is a truly unique idea, right? So it's a very good sign that you're actually seeing quite a few softwares doing this, and it's an even better sign that thus far we're only seeing two that are actually specific to pest control. And so if we keep going down, it's a bunch of just, articles that have like been, just like aggregate type like articles. We get listed on fool.com. ZenMaid's not listed on fool.com, which is very dumb. And so Pest Pack looks to be the best of the bunch. They're the number one pest-specific software. So I would go and I would do some more research into them, see how long ago they started, how many customers they have. If they have a Facebook group, like go and join their Facebook group. HouseCall Pro is paying to have an ad there. That's another one. That's another like general. So we'll just check page 2 here, and while that's loading, just coming over here to Capterra. Capterra is one of the best like software review sites. By one of the best, I mean they have the best SEO, but honestly, it's kind of a trash site that essentially you can see up here. It's sort by sponsored, and they'll literally show every single sponsored software above the organic results. So sometimes you'll have 25 softwares that are here before you get to anything organic. So I don't really like this company, but they're a necessary evil. They're kind of like the Yelp of software, which is not a good thing because Yelp is a shit company. Okay, ServSuite, Jobber, Gorilla Desk. So again, the big thing here is that none of these are actually specific. So Jacob, if you're watching this, you're in the Trends group. You've probably seen the concept of bundling and unbundling. When you look at any industry that's like this, where there's like 10 softwares that are general to all service businesses, and you're not seeing too many that are specific to that like particular industry, there's probably room. And so if we keep going, Big Change, Kizeo, Syncroteam, Sales Rabbit, like none of these are actual good solutions for these guys. It's just because they pay Capterra money to be showing up here, the service program. So thus far, we have not seen a single pest-specific software that's at the top of Capterra right now. Capterra is where ZenMaid gets most of its leads. So I would say that those other two softwares that are going after pest control right now, they're probably leaving a ton of money on the table by not advertising here. There's a good chance that you could pay a couple of dollars per click and you could be up here with all of these guys with the orange buttons. And just because you're the only one that says pest specific, you would get all the clicks if you were to focus on this. So like if I were going to start over today, I would build the software, which of course is much easier said than done, and I would plan on immediately running ads on Capterra, budgeting maybe $500 a month or something to start, and I would just try to take over this, and then with every single customer that you get, you send them back here and ask them to leave you a 5-star review, and you begin to get like that sort of like flywheel working. So yeah, we can keep going through. I mean, you can just see like this is what I mean, is this is a complete trash list. I've complained to Capterra multiple times about some of the shenanigans that they do, but I mean, all you have to do is pay a couple of dollars and you'll bump up ahead of all of these guys. I hate paying them any money, but it makes us a lot of money. So, beggars can't be choosers, I guess. Um, yeah, and then you can see more, but honestly, Capterra, you're shitty. All right. Yeah, so you can just like see there, just to show you kind of the opportunity. I mean, this is Jobber. They work with like 50 different service industries. They're one of ZenMaid's primary competitors. We beat them simply because we're much more specific. But you can see, I mean, they're valued at I think $100 million. So like the market is plenty big enough, including the individual like industries. If you're looking for like for a bootstrap business, I would say you could probably take a look at Jobber or Service Autopilot. There's probably a couple of other like big ones, and you can pretty much just look at any niche that they claim to cover and just check what the specialized software is that's available in that niche. Um, let's see. Let's keep going down here to just see if there's anything else. So honestly, I mean, pest control is actually looking to be really, really good to me. Like I'm looking at this and I'm only seeing thus far. We've only seen pest routes and pest. What was the other one? Pest pack, I guess. Oh shit. Pest pack is by Workwave. Oh, never mind. Pest pack is probably a piece of shit. Never mind. In that case, you're really only looking at one competitor that looks to be actually taking this seriously. I would say that if you took the exact same approach that we did with ZenMaid, it'll probably take a couple of years for you to overtake these guys, like SEO wise and stuff. But this market actually very much seems to be like open for the taking. Um, let's let this load. Yeah, so this market actually looks to be very much like open for the taking. I always look at this that like, you know, if you assume that there's enough like industry, which again I'm nearly 100% sure like that there is. If you assume like that, then really what you're looking at, so you assume that like the idea and the software itself is validated, or like the industry is validated. So now you can begin cold emailing. You just find pest control companies on Yelp and you start cold emailing or cold calling them and finding out what their problems are. Find out if like they're unhappy with their scheduling solutions, or if they're unhappy with something else, so you can build like a smaller piece to get in like initially. But the main thing, you've probably heard this, is like first time entrepreneurs focus on the product, second time entrepreneurs focus on distribution. So I'm looking at this right here and like, it's simple, but it's not easy. Like you could absolutely come in and with like a bit of work, you could just absolutely dominate the SEO here. So for ZenMaid, we dominate every term related to a maid service. We're pretty much at the top for, and other softwares can try to compete with us, but they just can't allocate their resources to create the kind of ultra specific content that we do. So like I'm looking at this and I would say you could immediately count on building up like the business with organic SEO over time. You would actually shortcut that by paying for ads again. So if you have a small budget, even bootstrap, we started out paying just $100 a month to Google, but you could easily pay a little bit of money and be showing up in these top three, even if it's a couple dollars, like a click, $10 a click or whatever, depending on like your budget, of course. You could show up in these top three, and like this one right here, pest routes, is obviously going to get a lot of clicks because they're specific, and not only are they specific, but they're the only ones that are like actually like trying here. So if you were able to come in, you could easily be number two, and number two would actually get you guys like pretty far along. And then over time, build up the company, and maybe you get to number one, right? Like ZenMaid, we now crap on everyone in every marketing category, just like across the board. But it's taken us 7 years of a lot of hard work, like to get there. But like with this, you can absolutely like see the path forward to actually do this. So yeah, if we just go down a little bit more, it's the exact same stuff. It's a bunch of just, okay, so Pest Boss. So there we go. So Pest Boss right here, this right here could be the ZenMaid of pest control, right? And so yeah, That's essentially what I would be looking at. That these guys I would probably put the most money on. It looks like they're probably like the newest. They probably have by far the best technology. And for Pest Boss, if they don't quit, they can probably make a ton of money and do pretty darn well. So like yeah, overall, I would say that this would be a pretty good industry like to get into. And just like to lay out next steps in case anyone wants to go out and like to actually build this would be yeah to scrape leads off of Yelp, send cold emails to pest control companies and cold call them. So send the email, then pick up the phone and dial them and just get people on the phone, talk about their problems, figure out what the software solution would be, or figure out which like specific like maybe 3 features or what you need to get off the ground. You also want to take a look at the pricing of the specific pest control specific pest control industry softwares, because that'll give you a much better idea of like the willingness to pay within the industry. That a lot of our general competitors, their pricing does not match up at all with how cleaning businesses actually work, and people would only use them because they had to. So take a look at the pricing of the very like niche ones that you're looking at like at here, and yeah, I mean the main thing for me is that from looking at this information and from just doing this, I'd never looked at any of this stuff before. It's very clear to me here that if you were to build a pest control software from scratch today and you could find a way to get, I would say maybe your first 50 clients or 100 clients, that's pretty much all the validation that you need to prove that you can go from there to 1,000 clients, right? And so ZenMaid, we're at like 1,100 clients right now, but we have a very clear path from where we are to 5,000 clients, right? Like it's just a matter of time until we go from like the $1 million, annual recurring revenue mark that we're about to break, and to go from there to 2 million to 3 million to 5 million and like an on, right? I think above 5 million is where we're really going to hit the next challenges that we might actually like plateau. But yeah, looking at all of this, if some indie hacker is looking at this, building the product is just one part of this. After building the product, it's really the hustle to get 20 to get to 25 or 50. And I'd mentioned this the other day like on Twitter, that for me personally to get ZenMaid to the 1,100 customers that we have now, I've personally spoken with 5,000 maid service owners over the past like 6 or 7 years, and I haven't even been the sales guy in the software for 3 years now. So like, we have team members that have spoken with 3,000 or 4,000 at this point. That were ones that I was like speaking to before. So yeah, I think that pest control, I think that this has like a lot of potential, and if you click around, I mean, like, well, one thing that I would do is if you're not really married to any of these industries, if you don't particularly care, I would click around and check all of the niche softwares and see if you can find niche software that's like painting or window washing or something like that, where all of like the window washing specific softwares are all charging like $200 or $300 a month. If you can find something like that, you can probably put in the same amount of effort but make like a ton more money. Might be a little bit more competitive, but whatever. If you find this helpful, follow me on Twitter. Twitter handle is It's Just Amar, ITSJUST Drop me a line there. If you do actually decide to move forward with this, with pest control or with like another industry, I would absolutely love to hear from you. ZenMaid, we're obviously very focused in this niche. We are not going the direction of any of these other guys. Like every big software that you saw that I was talking about, Jobber, all of those guys, they all started in one industry that they were loved, and now they serve all the industries and they're not loved, including the industries that they initially started in. And so we're not going to do that. It makes our lives more difficult. So yeah, I don't know. In case this goes on YouTube, smash that like button, whatever the fuck you're supposed to say. Yeah, I hope this is helpful. This is fun. If you guys want me to do this again, let me know.